This tutorial is for section S18, Standard Form, Find X and Y Intercepts for Algebra 1. In this section, they're going to be asking you to find either the x-intercept or the y-intercept. And I wanted to give you a little background information to explain what that means. In a later section, you'll see how we're going to use those to get some more information about our line. But for right now, I want you to think of this line right here and then these two dots. So if we have this line here where it crosses the y-axis is right here at this dot. So this is our y-intercept where it's intercepting that line, that y-axis. And then here where it's crossing is our x-intercept. So that's happening here where this line crosses the x-axis. So either one, they can ask you to find the y-intercept or the x-intercept, and so you have a rule for each one. So to find the y-intercept, plug in 0 for x, then solve for y. Then to find the x-intercept, plug in 0 for y, then solve for x. Number 1, 3x minus 2y equals negative 6. They're asking us here to find the y-intercept. So according to our rule, to find the y-intercept, we're plugging in 0 for x. So why do we do that? The place where we find our y-intercept is where it crosses the y-axis, but if you think about it in terms of the x-axis, it's crossing the y-axis where x equals 0, right? If they were asking us to find the x-axis, they're asking us to find the place where it crosses x at the place where y equals 0, because you think you would have negative 1 down here, 1 up here, so 0 is located right there at the origin in the middle. So we're going to put 0 in for x, and then we're going to solve for y. So once we plug in 0 here, 3 times 0 minus 2y equals negative 6. 3 times 0, 0 times any number is 0, so we can rewrite that down here. I'll show you later that you don't have to rewrite all of this. You can obviously combine some steps, but for the first couple I like to show you every single line so you don't miss out on anything. So 0 minus 2y equals negative 6. The 0 doesn't add or subtract anything of value, so we can rewrite this again as negative 2y equals negative 6. Then we're going to divide both sides by negative 2 to cancel this part out and get y by itself. Negative 6 divided by negative 2 leaves us with y equals positive 3. Remember that a negative divided by a negative is a positive. Number 2, x plus 3y equals 6. And this time they're asking us to look for the x-intercept. So think about it again. If you're looking for the x-intercept, then you are zeroing out. You're putting a 0 in for your y, so you can solve for x. So x plus 3y equals 6 becomes x plus 3 times 0 equals 6. This becomes 0. And then once we take out that 0, we have our answer. X equals 6. Number 3, 9x plus 4y equals 0. We're looking now for our x-intercept. So we put in 0 for y. So 9x plus 0, because 4 times 0 is going to be 0, equals 0. So once we take out that 0, we have 9x equals 0. Divide both sides by 9 to get x by itself and to cancel this part out. 0 divided by any number is 0. So our final answer here is x equals 0. Number 4, 6x minus y equals 6. We're looking now for our y-intercept, which means we'll be putting a 0 in for our x. So 6x minus y equals 6 becomes 6 times 0 minus y equals 6 becomes negative y equals 6. And remember, they don't want us to solve for the negative y, so we'll have to flip the signs to get positive y equals negative 6. Number 5, 8x plus y equals 0. This time we're looking for our y-intercept. So we'll plug in 0 for x. So 8 times 0 is 0, plus y equals 0. Once this cancels out, we get y equals 0 for our final answer. Number 6, x plus 9y equals 5, looking for our x-intercept, so we plug in 0 for y. This cancels out as a 0. X plus 0 equals 5. Nothing here of value, so x equals 5. Let's look at just a few more examples. Number 7, 7x plus 2y equals 4, and we're looking for our y-intercept. So we plug in 0 for x, leaving us with 2y equals 4. We're going to divide both sides by 2, and then y equals 2 because 4 divided by 2 is 2. Number 8, 4x plus y equals 0. We're looking for our x-intercept, so we plug in 0 for y, which will leave us with 4x equals 0. Divide both sides by 4, x equals 0. Number 9, 12x minus y equals negative 3, and we're looking for our x-intercept. So we plug in 0 for y, leaving us with 12x equals negative 3. Divide both sides by 12 to get x by itself and cancel out that 12 on the left. Negative 3 divided by positive 12 is negative 1/4. And it's okay to have a fraction as an answer here. You won't get many of them, but it's okay if you do. And our last sample problem, number 10. 13x plus y equals 13. We're looking for our y-intercept. So we plug in 0 for x, which would leave us with y equals 13. And that's our final answer.